free. So on the count of 3, update to 6.8. Stack up too much fakes and the world breaks. Only what's open can be true. Full transparency is best for you. Free, functional, and secure. Hacker people. Just read the code if unsure. Hack the planet. Search to see what makes it tick, makes it
everyone
panic.
to another after work live stream. And actually today actually not that much after work as in work, because thanks to my company for generously sponsoring so much of my time here, allowing me to work so much on these details. Because the other day I only noticed, like how it started was the other live stream, I noticed that our Qt package does not have all the dependencies, because I wanted to emerge Wireshark for some good network snooping. And welcome everyone. And I noticed that it didn't install right. And on our, like after 25 years and probably soon 5 years, yeah, time is running, 5 years live on YouTube, perfecting stuff, right? This is the year of infrastructure and perfection. And that means that unlike BSDs or other 2011 Linux distributions, stuff should increasingly just work. That was historically a little bit difficult. Not only have we always been a small team of maybe 100 people, currently a few less because so many people moved on, because nobody could earn money with open source at Rocket Linux times. So only a hardcore team currently being built up and increasing. And so also with the nature of building from source, right, there are just so many combinations. Of course, it's easier when you're Apple and you have just one set of things and you only care about one set of things and you ship a 10-year-old bash version and stuff in GCC. But yeah, so keeping all these combinations, compiling is magnitudes, not one, multiple orders more challenging, because you install it once and everyone emerges other stuff from source, and then you have other miscompilation issues of headers, of dependencies and stuff. And also then, of course, people having other, not only running ARM, MIPS, RISC-V, but also then other C libraries, right? One is compiling with Clang, the other compiling GCC, or in Musel, glibc, and so on, and and everyone has other breakage, because the only constant is change and regressions. So the crazy stuff is, so I literally wasted, no kidding, the whole afternoon debugging this, way too much time. I wish usually you see me here, and thankfully I've not live streamed it. It would not only be boring and embarrassing. I debugged once through the whole software stack, because what happened here, do I still have here something? I still have once. Because what happened is in Qt translations, Qt, not this one, but translations, doesn't matter the most. So what happened is, because I wanted to emerge, as I said, Wireshark, that needed some Qt stuff, and we recently split this. It's also a new issue, because previously, until a year ago, we only had Qt open source everything that built 20 minutes, like one mono repository where everything was in. And because it annoyed me so much, I split it. Also, the annoying thing is, not only is even on an epic thread ripping horizon of what processors look like, implementation, no, illustration purposes only has a broken 46. So not only is it annoying on a Ryzen 7950X, taking maybe 20 minutes. But the other thing is, then you don't have one option like WebKit, Qt WebKit, or WebCore, whatever, JavaScript and whatnot, or 3D, because you didn't have some dependency, and then you need to rebuild all the 20-minute stuff. So I'm super happy, and that is also the stuff, thanks to all your sharing, liking, subscribing, Patreon, GitHub membership and stuff, and my company pouring so much money into this, because just you see live how much polishing it requires, right? Even I want to emerge something and then it breaks. So due to the split up, we now have a dozen dependencies or so, and it installed Qt base, but then whatever, something was missing in Wireshark. Or actually, we can check the dependencies now. So a long story short, it took me 3 hours, because we have, but that I only want to mention this briefly. I wanted to do some other stuff now. But so basically, there are various ways. We have some automated sandbox tracking of, unlike other distributions, which probably nearly none of them have that. They just test you something and they tar it up. But we historically, being a source distribution, we track all the building. Also, we use it to automatically derive dependencies from that. So we track what files are used. Probably also very few distributions, if any other, do that. So with that, we are supposed to have fully automated dependency generation and resolution, which we are still fine-tuning now that we have YouTube and my company as a sponsor. And so long story short, I was debugging for 3 hours why some Qt dependencies weren't there. And it turned out I debugged through everything. Basically, initially I expected the bug to be in our file list tracker. We have multiple ways like strace, but that is too slow. So we mostly use a high performance LD preload. Preloading that, it's not hard sandbox, it's not like a secure sandbox, it's just like a 99% mostly working fast sandboxish. Yes, I'm brainstorming what future technologies to transition to. But long story short, after a lot of debugging, so initially I suspected, obviously I suspected bugs in our stuff. So I debugged through that stuff, I guru meditated. This is how this looks, shell script generating C, because and then I was debugging with, and then I was wondering why does it sometimes work and not, in which combination, and like 1 hour later and this. Then I ended up in, no kidding, make, right? So it turns out that with latest make and glibc, they use, so historically you would use fork and execve, which is what we wrap here. And turns out that doesn't work with latest POSIX spawn as used in make. I probably can show you. I'm not making this stuff up. I still have it here all the way. Probably this was in job for the here. I still have it in the Vim history, and so somehow I need to. It's like 3 hours in. It's like share, like, subscribe in for this boring topic. So 3 hours in, it turns out that it is rated to clone 3 of, yes, there are half a dozen of system calls, or how you can fork, vfork, and clone and exec another process. And it turns out this POSIX spawn is implemented for Linux and glibc is using clone 3, and somehow this currently loses our preload library, right? It took me 3 hours to debug through all this stuff to realize what's actually like debugging, stracing, and so on. And so, like in retrospect, if I would not have so long suspected a bug in our stuff, probably I could have cut this in like 30% of the time. But probably, like, pro tip, like, be more open-minded and maybe suspect other people's bug. Like, if I would have more focused on some implementation details and not like so long guru meditated what's going on in our stuff and like how is it possible. Like if I would have earlier moved to GDBing make, or like, yeah, I mean, it was extremely tricky, right? To my defense, it was extremely tricky. Even me, it took 3 hours, but it should probably realistically more have taken me 1 hour. But it's always like so easy to say, hey, pro tip, like, debug more on the details. It's like, yeah, after you know what precisely is going on. Anyway, so the resolution for this is thankfully make, I mean, we could either patch that away in make, but thankfully it has a configure option. So the result of 3 hour debugging through all this stuff is I disable POSIX spawn with a configure option for make for this, then this works as expected. And that 3 hours is, also we can commit this already, so I've not yet committed this. It's a little bit cleaner, like remove some random nonsense and some old, I've no idea why this make stuff. Probably, I guess, a decade ago, make didn't really build with whatever. I have no idea why this is there. The problem is I SVN blamed that I don't put more time in there because I moved it here from a make.conf file, so whatever's up with this, I have no idea. I removed it, it's the builds. I have zero idea why. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It builds without it. So the usual bit rot, sometimes it's good. Like if you see some random bit rot, delete it, see if it still works, and then some summer cleaning. So yeah, disable. The other stuff is just a little bit sorting this there in. I usually sort by priority and time. So like pre-conf, conf, make, install. Usually, unless it doesn't make sense, but usually that is what it makes the most sense. So disable POSIX spawn and make for our FS tracking to work for now, and clean some vintage work and comments. So that should result, let's see, in better dependencies. So So that one-liner is for, I mean, if I now, the problem is for this to work with, I mean, yes, it's not ideal. That means that everything using POSIX Swan currently evades our sandbox tracking. That is of course not ideal, but I don't have more time today or this weekend. So to move on, it is what it is. Actually, yeah, right. We, being true professionals, obviously make or glibc POSIX Swan work with make and LD preload FM wrapper someday, not today. It's not security rated. I mean, it's fine enough. Because for that, I'm not even sure if it's easily fixable. Maybe the real fix would be to rewrite and reinvent a better, more sophisticated. I'm not even sure what kind of namespacing. If you have an amazing idea for that, leave in the comments below. Maybe I need to give in and do Linux kernel eBPF jitting or whatever kind of cgroup namespace. Leave in the comments. It needs to be high performance, all right? If otherwise, we could probably use strace, but that is otherwise not high performance enough. So we built Wireshark. I don't think, I mean, we could diff that, but we could also copy this and delete, revert it if we don't like it. There is, yeah, right. So even that has a new dependency now. So all this was about Qt. Qt tools, which has some L. So what our flist tracking was missing was Qt5 bin L release. Yeah, L release, some translation tool. So and due to that, it wasn't building then. So at least this build has significantly. Right. That is not ideal. I actually overrode the bin dash to bin sh. Yeah, this is of course now not ideal. That I just overrode this for testing. Wait, what? What is here? It has both. Right, it also, okay. I had here, okay, that is now truly not amazing. Yeah, that comes from if you build with a recurring theme. My working copies usually have dozens of unfinished changes because I just keep debugging stuff. So yeah, another pro tip, a much more valuable pro tip, don't start a Linux distribution, right? There are already 2011 Linux distributions, and as you see here, running a full-blown Linux distribution takes a whole lot of time of your life, basically 25 years, a 20% project, or how Google calls it, and it is so complex that other distributions just fork Red Hat and not run their own, and then whine that they don't get the source anymore. So yeah, pro tip, don't run your own Linux distribution, it's just a lot of time. So this here that can revert. I only deleted this for testing because initially I was suspecting maybe some of the filtering is to blame. The only problem is now I need to, because I wanted to update the dependencies, that all of this practice was actually improving the dependencies for playing along at home for you. And now the dependencies are unclean because I had this filtering quirky stuff there removed. var adm logs. So this is a fresh VM, of course. So we're professionals. Welcome everyone. So we probably want to rebuild quite some stuff, probably 4 steps, none, and then I don't know, how do we copy this now? Best. I mean, we probably. Why is this an error? Or maybe I manually Control C that while debugging. So this was one of the things I was debugging. I mean, we can rebuild this just in case, not expecting the most dependency changes for that. That also not, I mean, this is just rebuilding this for fun. And that will also not give much. So this should build relatively fast. I'm passing 24 threads of my 32 through there. Open image IO failed somehow anyway. And yeah, I also built Blender for some test. Did I have Wireshark in there now? So yeah, let's quickly build that. What other comment do we have there? Video while since using spawn, but doesn't require pathing in env list. So the biggest change is how this forks, how this copies address space. And so also it gives you, at least clone 3 then, gives you more fine-grained control about the address space and other kernel internal, what to stack and stuff, what to copy, what not, and so on. So that is what all the various clone fork, vfork, and similar such things are about. Package, but in this strace, the environment variables that control our flist wrapper are in there. So the environment variables. This is also why it took me so long, right? Probably 1 hour. I only wasted a lot of like guru meditating, tracing, and double checking, and double, triple, and head scratching why it doesn't work. Didn't expect clone 3 to have the impact there, but yeah, and I mean that is also how you become a walking dictionary, like myself probably in some areas. If you like, yeah, how to become a true professional, like debug complex stuff for 25 years, and eventually you start to know too many Unix clone implementation details. EILM base. I think I checked this a while ago and was surprised that they didn't have an update. I'm only checking this because it scrolled through there. ILM base 221 in 2017. Yeah, it's not probably not the most important. That is some C standard. I mean, yeah, I'm probably not. Yeah, like subscribe if you want me to debug more of this stuff. Maybe it's just some, probably overwriting the C++ standard would make this build. Also, maybe Blender needs it though. Yeah, cheers. I need to. Did I run this with Wireshark? Otherwise, oh no, I have run this with Wireshark. This still fails. Or maybe I still have some debugging in there. Qt5, Qt5. Was it declarative or Qt? And yes, I think I debugged in Qt5 translation. So, yeah, here is still a board. Yeah, I deleted that for a test. What did fail now in Qt5? Maybe it needs. Oh no, this worked. Maybe because no. Maybe I Control-C it. Probably just built in this second or so. Yeah, with that being said, it probably makes sense to write a quick shell loop for f in IDM logs 9 log 2, and then how do we best, probably f equals removing, oops, yeah, this scrolls by. I'm running this on a virtual serial console through QEMU, that is why I probably should have run the tmux on the tmux, because that is my outside tmux is my Ryzen host. So so remove trailing all dash 9, and then yeah, let's better I believe it works when we do this in one line. Also remove trailing.log, because it works. And then cp cache we want to package ff cache and bin cp false for both. So let's see what we get here. Exarch proto. So we have this some empty diff. Why is this empty diff in there? Alright, I didn't rebuild this. Actually, I believe I fixed that. That was probably the filtering that was deleted. If we rebuild deps non f exorg proto. I believe this is most configure files. I can't make this shit up. Most configure files, I still have mtdef. They run mt or something, some manifest tool. I thought I filtered that. Why is it still in there? I thought I removed that. This is why, by the way, I believe I filter all configure run stuff away, because configure tests so much random nonsense for like being run on Windows or VMS, and then you have then at times you have wine in there just because configure. It's also why I hate this over checking, like configure 90% checking random nonsense when it is already clear. It should be clear that it's not used. For example, either Windows headers that you then have on your Unix system through wine, and then if you have wine installed, lots of stuff randomly depends on wine, although it's not using it. And also MT, right? I believe I checked this some month ago. And debug exorg proto, I'm pretty sure MT. Why is this? It's not even in what? MT, wasn't it mtdef? Ah, the mtdef. Ah, right, this was a bloody. Oh, this, okay, it was not mtdef, it was mtst. So previously a lot of packages dependent on mtst, the more modern SCSI tape thing. Yeah, MTS, that is actually super stupid. I need to fix this. So that is, yeah, let's put this on the to-do. So the fix is have another exorg package create x prefixes first. Yeah, so this is mtdef is just, this is just stupid. So mtdef has this priority if we have exorg proto that is 100. Yeah, so I would hope we can just build exorg proto. Like everything should just, like exorg proto should create this x. Hello? Exorg. We have core exorg stuff, and then you also like, so to not have the core exorg free desktop stuff separated from all the other X now and other such random Xtang and whatnot. Exorg proto. Let's, for my next build, try to build this significantly earlier. Something of... I somehow copy and pasted the wrong thing. mtdef. Protip copy the right thing. Yeah, something of that sort. Just for now. Anyway, so did we? So let's, for that, copy all the stuff and then delete for now as a quick workaround. Mtdef delete and cache in place. So what did we get here? Okay, else had, why does it depend on cup? That's also stupid. So is this dash versus, that is probably because I had the zoom link changed. There's always something, right? You'd want to update some. glibc 32 is also stupid. Whatever, volume, probably volume. Actually, yeah. We need a better solution for that. Yeah, here's just bash in there. How unfortunate. You want to update some depth and then you have some random stuff just because you changed your... Okay, here's actually Qt tools didn't need Qt5 declaratives. Is that also not? Actually, maybe we just check. It's a pity that we have there's some random stuff now in. Check bash in. What do you do? Okay, debs, none, force, meson, ninja, lz4, what else? Let's quickly. Yeah, that is the only benefit of having enough compute power at your hands, and rebuilding this doesn't take too long. It's probably a little bit more though. Mako. Half bus. Why does it use cling? So this must have intentionally run cling. This is not cool. What was it now? What did I just say? Except Python. Maybe we check. Probably Cups also installed some directory first. That was lz4 Cups. Package config. This is probably also installing then into the wrong directory. So more to do. Yeah, I'm basically like, if you want everything really perfect, then it's really a lot of time. Have this files create package config and lib first. And also, what is with the flist? Did it install something wrong? Because that is not lib64. lz4 of... Yeah, look at that. I mean, that is the only win of... Oops, installing the wrong directory, apparently. Let's check that. Let's quickly grab all flists. Lib. Is it hopefully fully on? Okay, clang. This is also not ideal, is it? How is that happening? Somehow this is more than I expected. How so much in lib glibjpeg turbo? Okay, so cups is this cup stuff might be valid. Clang is a shock. Somehow I will. Which previous video? Which AI will fix this for me? Can someone give me already a general artificial intelligence to fix all this stuff for me? Why are humans still fixing this stuff? But yeah, the more you look into details, the more bugs you find. So that is fix libdir for cling, libjpeg turbo. What else did we? lz4. Like basically, this is months of work, right? Why? If you wonder why do my to-do I need some distributed file system and unify my. The problem is I have here VMs in my local stream deck. Like if you're a computer professional, you have half a dozen of computers and somehow. And don't tell me I should put my to-do into the cloud. And where did I? Oh, right here. So this VASI is kind of valid. There's also udev package config. Ugh, this sucks so much. How can so much stuff suck? Yeah, stuff to check another day. And we only find this by analyzing dependency details. So let's copy this stuff again. Let's SED this stuff away again, because we recopied that. Probably still have kinda. I probably don't even want to commit all this stuff today. How many? I already rebuilt more than I wanted. Let's. I basically mostly wanted to update Qt stuff. All right, did this build? This is like translation tool. So this probably only ended. I deleted this because I realized it's probably ended up from other Qt sub packages needed that. Of course, complex QMake stuff doesn't find its stuff, like not running package config. This only worked on all the other, what did I say, 2011 Linux distributions, because they install just everything in user, right? It's of course easy, sure. If you install everything in user, you hide all the bugs. I just like my vintage X11 stuff a little bit sorted in user X11 word. Yes, I'm the last man probably standing doing that, but it is what it is. Okay, Qt translations. Why did I not rebuild this? Maybe it is Qt5 translations. I probably had abort in there. Yeah, of course I had. Qt5 translations. Okay, then we can commit this. Let's commit this. First removed stray. Obsolete stray. Stray copied package config glue from Qt5 translations. Oops. And then the rest should be how many? I mean, theoretically also. Where is net also for Wireshark? Yeah, this is Qt5 tools in there. So that is all what it's about, right? The only thing, and here we are one day later, right? It only, like, I wasted half of my workday sponsored by my company because all happened just the other day that I couldn't, without error, emerging Wireshark, right? And that is what we're here for, like making stuff really works, and that is what it takes. Also here's this stuff. Okay, we probably just revert all the other stuff. This is how good our dependency tracking is in the meantime, except the time here. Otherwise, no dependency change, right? So Wireshark. So yeah, probably removing some random stuff here at times. Apparently, that looks mostly okay-ish. We probably, and that is making T2 dependency region better and less glitchy and less random and more working. One workday and YouTube live stream at a time. What did I? Network. Okay, let's quickly clean this up there. This stuff what do we want to commit there? So CR is not, dbus not, hideoffx not, tcpdum. What's this tcpdum? Also not. Smells a little bit like weed. Someone smoking weed outside. Or in the neighbor apartment. So revert, but that is of course not an uncommon smell in Berlin or other parts of Europe for that matter. Unless something else is burning. network Qt. Maybe I should smell if something is burning though. Because it's also raining a little bit. Must be either neighbor apartment or because it's raining, so. Wireshark, some Qt stuff. Should we double check? Shit, the build time sucks. You know what? So the build time is only right if we build bin utils. Let's, as we touched it already, let's bin 4 steps. Non-view is inspired from Linux from scratch bin utils as build time reference bin utils. That has the benefit of being somewhat Linux from scratch compatible. I believe they probably still use it as Linux from scratch build units. Just takes a little bit longer. Yeah, basically I probably don't need to live stream, right? You don't need to wait with me a minute or two to build this. So yeah, that is basically the purpose for today. And the cost of, yeah, even automatic dependency, right? If it doesn't work, then you still need to debug it. But I would still call it a massive magnitude of order time win, because I don't believe in all the massive 100, if not 1,000 developers hours of time it takes to manually type in dependencies, because the way most other, if not all other Linux distributions handle dependencies is having people manually type it into some spec files, and that is not only time consuming, error prone. Like it is, sure, if you invest 10,000 or 100,000 of hours over a decade, then sure, it can be nicer, but I believe in automation, so when we just haven't invested it, right? We had regressions, and then because of new stuff, like new Python stuff causing, also now more stuff is using Python with Ninja, Meson and so on, or other build system implementation details. And then okay, that is, don't even need to, and that is why we had more regressions over the years, and it took some time to filter that stuff properly. So probably missing only, and then Qt5 base declarative tools and transformations. Alright, force, because I have it installed. Yeah, even Qt base will probably, how long? I'm not even passing all. We have some virtualization overhead, and I'm not passing all cores in there, right? 24 cores, so that is 38 seconds. Qt5 will take longer. Very theoretically, I was actually interested in checking what, like, yeah, as I still need to wait this shortly, let's check Blender. What is missing there? You're kidding me. FreeType needs to be compiled with Broadly support. Like, you can't make this shit up. And that is the thing where I'm at times falling from my office chair in disbelief, right? What crazy, like seriously, you really depend on this special optional, I mean, features I didn't even know exist, and you really depend that FreeType needs to have Broadly support. The problem I have with it is, like, you really need such special flow snowflake package options enabled in your system to be able to, like, and what code have you written for requiring a font? Like, if you don't know what FreeType is the open source reference implementation, like high performance and feature and stuff, of font rendering, and it's seriously due. As you had one job, Broadly, by the way, sometimes because I'm always not sure if we probably soon, cool. I soon should, recurring theme, right? I soon should spend another hour on other automation, because our data is not yet tracking all dependencies reliable, all updates. Let's see if there's a new release, but there isn't. broadly so amazing that there is not a new release? Can people not... just the other day I realized the Dove Code email IMAP server doesn't have a new release. Like, can you folks guys not release something at least once a year? Because I have it hard to believe that there wasn't a major improvement since August 2020, which soon is 3 years. Yeah, let's emerge that broadly. And that is also the thing, if you're wondering why are BSD or T2 Linux downloads, like minimal images these days, so large, this is because you need broadly, you know, GCC and Clang, and so on and so on. So free type, let's rebuild this and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, and this stuff simply shocks me, right? This is, in my opinion, not outstanding software engineering to have to write code to, I mean, broadly should just be better setlib compression, right? I don't understand how they can hard depend on better, where did I close it now? Yeah, whatever. So this is just supposed to be better. Like I have version 109, it's like 2020, and of course Google also financed and stuff has, if you write stuff in C, then you have integer overflow problems, happens, one-shot decoding API, general purpose lossless compression algorithm compresses data using the combination of modern variant of L Z77 algorithm Huffman coding, second order context modeling with a compression ratio comparable to best currently available general purpose compression method. It is similar in speed with default but offers more dense compression. This actually is, I thought it's setlib compatible, so this is actually a specification defines lossless. Maybe I should. After 35 degrees in the office, now it's 17 outside and light rain. Thank God it is raining. So apparently that is an incompatible format. Interesting. Didn't know that. But wasn't there a better setlib, like better setlib compression? Was it not broadly? Or did broadly start out as... Did broadly start out, or CAS broadly a setlib? I thought once there was a better than setlib thing. One of the code is outlier. Okay, if you have no more info, read in the comments below. And welcome everyone. So var adm logs of free tab. Let's see, broadly does it. It picks this up. Amazing. Can make this stuff up. Okay, let's give Blender. So for this kind of stuff, we don't even have means, and probably other. So because theoretically we now would need to model. Also emerged it's slightly wrong. I'm not emerged with the depths that are not building. For probably C++ update reasons. So I wanted to say. So theoretically we should theoretically model optional dependencies, right? And this is super complex, probably. So other distributions also don't do this, because usually other distributions just have one set of packages, right? Like all the RPM, major RPM stuff is building with glibc. They don't even have the option of other stuff. Usually for other stuff, there's another distribution, right? Of so 2011 distributions, like then you use Alpine Linux, or so if you want to use it. And so we have, because I'm saying this because theoretically we have packages that have dependencies, like Firefox. You need other threading libraries if you build with Muso. So theoretically we maybe should model, like leave me in the comments below, should our dependencies be so perfect that we should model in our dependencies, which probably need some human addition in code additions, sparkling in some human. No, it froze. Shit. AMD GPU at its finest. Yeah, Steam Deck, dock, USB-C, multiplexing. Okay, let me show. I'm not making this. And this is also if you don't have perfect code, right? I even have this. Here, right? Recurring theme. I brought that is also. I should make actually a video. I brought the Steam Deck dock. It's because I thought it's super quality, and I have other glitchy USB-C dock and stuff, and I thought because they're all somehow glitchy, because complexity, I thought I buy the expensive official thing, and it's probably amazing, and it's like, yeah. I believe I can't even. I mean, kinda I should have returned it, right? I probably should use my gear more into fullest potential and actually make a YouTube video. Because it's rather disappointing, right? I believe, I mean, it only happens every other, actually I rebooted, so usually it happens once a week of uptime, which, yeah. But it's definitely not cool, right? I really hate, it's like, the Apple people just use dongles for everything. It's like, yeah, then you have a unstable mess, right? 20 years ago, you could have a year uptime, and in 2023, with all this complex mess, you have days of uptime, because then your AMD GPU, USB-C multiplexing stuff, and display, port, MST, signal integrity, and whatnot. And yeah, I don't even have that much uptime. Yeah, uptime 1 day, because I'm testing the latest kernel here for you, 3.644. Amazing. And that is so frustrating, right? You have the newest gear, and you have some variations because you're a YouTuber and run a company and YouTube channel and stuff, and like everything is glitchy, right? Apple Silicon MacBook, obviously no full Unix support, even in macOS glitchy stuff. Steam Deck with full Linux native first-class support, glitchy stuff. I mean, like basically the decade-old stuff. The decade-old stuff is the only thing that's not glitchy and error-prone and buggy and stuff. Hashtag big bugs. Okay, what is now? So we learned pro tip that you need to start from the beginning. I really hate the CMake stuff that everywhere in the middle there are errors. Okay, it also doesn't have some FFmpeg. Okay, there's some more stuff in FFmpeg. Is it? Whatever. That is really annoying that it doesn't stop at the first error, but it's like, yeah, we configure incomplete. Good luck finding your errors. Here's CMake error. So what is this? The PMux. Is this WebP or what? Font WebP file. I also really, okay, this is open image actually. This open image also didn't build. Because everything is so complex, gazillions of dependencies, and then it doesn't build with the latest compiler. Open. Did I build open image? What? Okay, let's try again maybe. That's a handful of dependencies, including old stuff. What a fun. Yeah. Basically, that's what you get if you have to maintain all the mess. Okay, let me show. Okay, enough for today. Let's update all this stuff. SED, and then, because now the build time should be. Did we rebuild Wireshark? Apparently not, so one more thing. So maybe check that we really have the build time. Yeah, that has a build time of 0, so that builds so fast. Okay, now we have, so the difference, all the efforts just for accurate build time. Previously this was 100. That is the default. And so in the future, like we will make, as you see here, also with ExactCODE's pledge previous video, 20 million euro investment over the next decades. Obviously here for me working every day and kind of full time on this stuff. For example, the build time we can finally use. I mean, it is listed on the website and so on. We are not even using it the most yet, but we can soon use it actually to estimate the build time, right? Wouldn't it be amazing? You emerge some stuff in our emerge, which we will also refactor, right? Package install, Qt5 base, amazing new stuff coming. And then it can tell you even, hey, it builds from source in probably estimated 30 minutes on your Steam Deck. Do you want to do that? And that's probably a cool feature that this stuff can. Of course, it will not be accurate. Your mileage may vary and stuff, whether you have risk. And because we have only one reference time, which is, but it should still scale somewhat, right? Whether you build bin utils on an SG Octane, it of course will not be second accurate, but it will be probably in the ballpark of T2 on a PS3 telling you want to emerge Amiga emulator from scratch. It will take 40 minutes. It probably will take 40 minutes. So, yeah. Also, there is no some Boatly thing. Ah, thank you very much. Is that even real? Or like, let's log, what is it, Qt5. Okay, you install Boatly, you get new dependencies. Yeah. Tools. Okay, it's not in there. Debug Qt5 tools of. Okay, it really used. Okay, it probably was recursively. I guess it wasn't directly. It was probably through free type then. That sucks, of course, a bit. I'm kind of tempted to delete that. That is actually, I think I already thought about this another month ago. Theoretically, try to. I think that's probably not possible because, like, we only have the files are loaded by the linker at the beginning of the executable, so yeah, that sucks a little bit. I need to think about this. Even always, if you watch this now or later, even years later, if you have some comments, always leave them. And even years later, there might still be some valuable comment from other Linux distribution and Unix experts. And as, by the way, if you want to see more of the stuff, in the meantime, I probably have 1,000 live streams, right? So if it's a rainy day or too hot and whatnot, and you want to watch some Unix stuff, you can always go through the archived library and rewatch some live stream from a year ago. Probably learn something. How many Boatly and yeah, actually quite some. Maybe I should go a little bit through that and try to commit some more, but maybe not. So quite some work for this, but sometimes it is like this. Although we fixed a couple of things. I committed already other stuff, right? It's not only this, there was more win. I cleaned up some comments and code and other stuff. Because as always, if I guru meditate 3 hours about stuff, then I always find at least some small things to polish. So there goes that. And network. So this we also wanted to update. Okay, we have some Boatly stuff in there. This might actually be so what we Do I have on my to-do optional? What we definitely want to do is spend some developer time. Mark major optional tips. Cups and then yeah, there will be fast quite some stuff, but because maybe this curl is even valid, right? Maybe curl also has a totally, yeah. Did we not rebuild? Oh, right, I didn't copy this yet. Yeah, 235. Okay, but now it has broadly back, so probably, don't tell me Varsha goes, like probably 2023, probably everything can optionally depend on broadly. Yeah, of course. Found broadly, yay! Oh man, what a brave timeline to be alive. Nothing like gazillions of compression. Do they even have? No, flag was for sure random. So yeah, that is at least another win-win. 3 hours not completely wasted, but also at least some dependencies vastly cleaned up. From 20, I mean, yeah, over 2 year older. Yeah, but we cleaned. But yeah, that is basically, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the work of 2 years working on your solution. At least some cleaner, significantly cleaner dependencies to show for Wireshark. Actually, you know what, let's maybe commit this together with a handful of other. Maybe we should quickly, let's see if we, how long do we live stream? All right, AMD GPU crash. Okay, I could do this slightly differently, but it doesn't matter. Field 1, 2, 3, I believe, and then what? Ah. Let's build all of Qt5 also, just for having Qt5. Did I build with? Probably I started with spines, I believe. Then we can. So that is the same VM, just there I have only one. And unlike, wait, where's my mouse cursor? There, oh, there's my mouse cursor. Render, I have that already from yesterday. Oops. Isn't that amazing? Linux distribution where Xorg, unlike some BSDs, were actually Xorg works out of the box. The future must be now. Oops. I wanted reverse video, not. Where is? I probably should make the default, to be honest. So I only did this so then in the other we can. Why does this happen? Why does my download? Some of the download errored out. Probably too many people downloading Qt stuff. Because what did I want to do? So by the way, is this already the hugest? Could really be huger, to be honest, for YouTube. What I want to do? Probably analyze the dependencies here. To see, alright, SED, yeah. In place, net tools, missing, what? Oh, basic command, yes, that makes sense. Yeah, so broadly is just, so there's always this thing. I probably need to write a tool that evaluate the dependency changes, because doing this manually doesn't scale. Let's rebuild this too. Because now it's like filtering where there's a real change and not just some time and stuff. Okay, xorg. Why is that, by the way? I probably didn't rebuild it yet. No, that wasn't. I thought family chat, but it was. Is this now? Why is this build time still 100? Ah, I didn't copy this. Ugh. Very clever of one. Why does this downloads error out? Why do the downloads error out? What nonsense is that? Not sure if this docks this, because I have 0 drop frames, so the cable internet can't be that bad right now. Alright, now we have... don't have the shell history. Stuff is also... That is why I use the other terminal. We should have started Tmux already. Was there anything else? Alright, we need more Qt builds anyway. So xorg proto apparently doesn't have... Does it not build with Make anymore? No, apparently it does, let's hope it doesn't break something. So, actually this xorg proto is a good update. I'm surprised we didn't update this in 13 years. Because I'm surprised because I massively updated the cache files over the last year, right? So that we have such, like here, render utils is only in May. So that's what I mean, actually filtering this manually. I don't want to manually scroll over all this stuff otherwise. Because I have better things to do than that. Yeah, Mesa probably checked for Valgrind. I really hate this also. Half buses run. Clang probably saw this earlier. Free type apparently built with way less things now for some reason. Yeah, filtering that sucks a little bit. This should be more automated. What do we have here? Qt5 co-app, whatever that is. Yeah, so some massive potential Qt cleanups, because I initially copied all this stuff. So Yeah, but some things are really silly, like Python depending on everything. Probably it did some header scanning or other such, reading everything. Alright, Wireshark we didn't commit. Quite some things. So what I did the last time, I diff statted that and everything with only 1 or 2 changes I reverted, which is not 100% accurate, so I actually should write some. Why does some stuff, you know what, do we have? Do we have emerge? Where do we have? Do we have download only? Maybe not. But okay, we don't even can directly download that. Qt purchasing. Quick 3D. Yeah, and there you see the benefits of splitting up this embarrassingly massive Qt everything package. Not really sure what's up with the download though. Yeah, so you have maybe I don't have this that. Oops, where's my. By the way, don't tell me. Yeah, the spy stuff crashed. It also happened. So yeah, more. It's ridiculous. It also happened yesterday. So somewhere you will see that. Where is no? That is actually pretty hard to focus out now. I really hate this. Then we don't see it anymore. Was there not something to... How did I usually manage that? Oh wait, no, it did something. But yesterday the spy stuff somehow ran out of memory allocation, maybe on the Goodness ExactCODE server side. Apparently no, it was something else. What did I precisely do there? Not sure. Okay, apparently today it was not that. But yeah, yesterday I had, probably in the ExactCODE server log, somewhere I had like spicy QXL, memory allocation failed, something like a 2023 and this fancy virtualization stuff. Doesn't even work. What did I want to do now? I wanted to do something. Alright, diff. Start. Yeah, Qt web channel. I mean, I said it also before, right? The Qt download of everything is also embarrassingly large. I think it was 500 megabyte or something with this ballpark number. Like, yeah, Qt web engine, you guessed it. Anyway, that's probably enough you wanted to see now. It's getting a little bit long and repetitive, I guess. Leave in the comments below if you even want to see long and repetitive things. I hope you enjoyed to learn something with all this massive efforts. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, maybe Patreon or GitHub sponsor. I hope you enjoyed to learn something. Have a good day or night, and I hope to see you soon for all the other continuation of fun stuff to come.